Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to talk about iPads, iPhones, accessibility. The iPad and the iPhone are a little bit different but nearly identical because of how Apple does their interfaces. So we're going to go to Settings and we're going to scroll down until we see Accessibility. Now in the last videos, we went over vision, we went over physical and motor, and we went over hearing. So this time we're gonna go to the general settings. The first one that you see here is guided access. Guided access keeps the iPhone in a single app and allows you to control which features are available. To start guided access, really the best way to really get a sense of what this is going to do or how it might be a problem for any of your clients is to turn it on and to start using it. So guided access, when you turn it on, you have to decide on passcode settings. You have to select some time limits around sound and speak. If you want to add the accessibility shortcut, which won't pop up right now because it's off on the other setting, and then display auto lock. So definitely be exploring what that's like when it's turned on your own device. Of course, there's Siri. There's lots of really helpful tools with Siri. So you can type to Siri. You can have spoken responses. You can have your phone always listening for Hey Siri. If you remember in the, Vision? Now I can't remember which accessibility bucket it fell into, but there was one that was about sound prompts, if you are sound commands, sound notifications, where really it's trying to listen to the environment around you and give you appropriate notifications. Hey Siri is another element of that. So I highly recommend that if you enjoy using your devices or if your client enjoys using their devices, in that kind of way with just voice prompts, I would turn this always on. So it's always listening for that phrase. And if you want Siri to take up the whole screen, or if you want Siri to just kind of be in front of your other apps, you can turn that on or off as well. I'd like to keep that on. There's the accessibility shortcut. So if you have the accessibility shortcut on, you triple click the home button, that circle button at the bottom of your iPhone or iPad. You triple click that and these will start to pop up. You can arrange what comes first and what comes last. If we tap, that'll turn it on. If we tap it again, it'll turn it off. So let's say we do assistive touch, background sounds for focus. Let's do color filters. I want voiceover on and voice control. Those are the ones I want on. So now when I click back, if I do a triple click, it pops up with my assistive touch, background sounds, color filter, voice control, voice over. And then I can tap one of them. So if I tap background sounds, it starts turning that on for me. We're going to turn these on. And then the last one is per app settings. So you can add customizations for different apps. When you click this, it brings up the list of apps that you already have on your phone. And let's see, let's find a custom one that I have, something that's pretty unique. WSC Connect is one of our virtual senior centers. If we click that, now I can say specifically for this app, I want bold text, I want larger text, I want button shapes, I want on and off labels, reducing transparency. All of these accessibility options I can make custom to that app, which has been incredibly helpful with some of the apps that don't have accessibility features built into them like they should. wanted to scoot back, and since we're talking about general accessibility settings, I do want you to know anytime you're looking for something particular like voice commands, you start typing that in and the iPhone will search its entire settings for voice command. Voice control was the closest that it found. Command feedback commands, customized commands. And so if you click any of those, it'll take you right to it. Let's say I want to do, another example we show is keyboard. And so you can see with keyboard, there are keyboard settings in clicks. There's keyboard settings in general. And if we keep scrolling down, there's keyboard settings in accessibility. So you can see there's lots and lots of options, even for something just as specific as your keyboard. So if keyboard is something your client is struggling with, I would type in that word and address as many of these settings as the two of you have time for, because the list really goes on. Let me click cancel and it will stop that search. Notifications is usually something that people have questions on. My phone is too loud. I'm not getting notifications for this. I'm getting notifications for that. Of course, look in there. Sound and haptics for sounds and vibrations. Focus time has been something incredibly beneficial to people who have attention issues. So you can set up the do not disturb, personal sleep and work to be on certain schedules, and you can have it shared across all your devices. Screen time to reduce the amount of time that you spend on your screen. You can see that you really don't spend too much time. I don't know why our daily average for Sunday was that high. I didn't touch this phone on that day. But in any case, it gives you a sense of where you have been, so you can practice some of those digital wellness things. As far as digital wellness goes, you do have downtime, app limits, communication limits, always allowed, and content privacy restrictions that you can set up for those digital wellness purposes. And then, of course, there's screen time passcodes, which have been helpful for people that have multiple persons on a device, let's say family members, children in particular. You can also set up screen time for family, and that gets into some of those specific users and things like that. There's your overall display and brightness, home screen, wallpaper. These are good areas to spend some time in to address vision issues in particular, to change the display size for people that need it, things around that. ID, Touch ID and passcode, really good idea to have those on there. Emergency SOS, talk about digital wellness, keeping some of your emergency contact information in your phone so emergency responders can access it and make sure you're taken care of properly. Emergency responders are trained in accessing this on iPhones and Androids. They know the shortcut to get there, and if they can find your phone, they will do it. So make sure that you and your clients are setting this up on your phone. Battery life, privacy, App Store, wallet, passwords. This will manage some of your passwords, which can be helpful. Just make sure that you are using strong passwords and managing those appropriately. Lots of other fun and helpful apps for your day-to-day life that are in here. Just make sure that you're spending time setting them up appropriately with the accessibility features that are involved with. I have You Hear down here. This was recommended to me by an audiologist. It's an app that is just for iPhones that will test your hearing. So you would open up the app and do that. But when I click on it, we can see that the microphone can be turned on or off for this, and that Siri is allowed to search. If I go to my WSD Connect, which we looked at for a moment, We can change how Siri and search work. We can change notification settings, and we can change the background app refresh rate as well. So just know that these settings are all here. Again, spend some good time exploring. When you're working through this with a client, make sure that you do have adequate time to make it through all of these. Just me briefly showing you all of these settings has taken up significant time, and it's time well spent for the end user. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.